I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back, Brahmins. It is Wellness Wednesday. I have only a couple of announcements for you today. Juniors and seniors, check your email. You would have received an email from the junior class sponsors. It is time to start nominating for king and queen of your prom. So how this works is both juniors and seniors can nominate, but then on the night of the prom, only the seniors who show up to that event will be casting their votes as they are checking in at the check-in table. And so here's just what you need to know about nominations. They must have a 2.5 GPA. That is because it's a school title, and so the expectations are a little higher there, and not hold any other senior titles. So senior titles would be Miss Brahmin, Mr. and Miss OHS, Homecoming, King and Queen. So anybody else who do not already have those titles would be eligible for nominations. So go ahead and get those nominations done. First round of voting will take place. And then when we get it narrowed down to 4 or 5 nominations, that is when the seniors will vote at prom. All right, lots and lots of emails yesterday about, hey, when can I buy a yearbook? Lots of people were expecting to be able to buy one yesterday after the yearbook jam. You can get yours beginning today in the cafeteria. They're going to be on sale for $60. But listen, we don't have an unlimited supply. It's not like we can call the publisher up and get more books shipped to us. What we have is what we have. So when they run out, they're gone. So if you are wanting an OHS yearbook, make sure you bring your $60 and purchase those during your lunch in the cafeteria.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to give another shout out to our tennis team. And again, you guys know we had our 2 girls that were competing yesterday in the state finals, and they made it all the way to semifinals. Right, Mr. Stewart, Ms. Myers?
Yep. Yes.
They did fall short, but what a huge accomplishment. In the words of Ms. Treamer, we are pretty sure that this is the farthest our teams have made it in OHS history. So thank you guys. What a wonderful tennis season it was.
It was. We knew they were good when this started, and they showed it, because that's a long ways in the process. Got to give a shout out to over at the Ag Barn last night. We had a lot of kids come in there were Danish kids, so that would mean they come from Denmark, I would assume. So Mr. Prescott, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Dryden, and Miss Thompson, thank you guys so much for hosting those kids. It really was a fun event. I am going to shout out a couple of students too who took some leadership roles. They were out teaching some things. Anna Belton, Jenna Larson, Will Thomas, and Riley Adams. They were teaching kids how to rope a cow. They were teaching kids how to cut swamp cabbage. I mean, they were cracking whips. They were just having a great time. It was really fun. I enjoyed it a whole lot. Mr. Dryden did cook steak for all of them, by the way. I didn't get a chance to enjoy that because I had to leave a little bit early, but if you guys have any left over, let me know. Also, 6:30 tonight, softball game. 6 o'clock is a flag football game. This is a district game. Come out and support your Brahmins.
Freshmen, just a reminder, we have testing coming up next week. On Tuesday and Wednesday, you will be taking the second part of your FSA ELA, which will be the reading portions. So please remind your parents that you need to be here on time those days. We will just be testing during first and second period. So we will get started as soon as we get everybody in at the beginning of the day. Your teachers will be able to tell you starting hopefully on Friday where your tests, but just a reminder that attendance is important. We'll have back-to-back testing weeks for the first 3 weeks of May, and then we'll have semester exams. So the amount of time you'll have to make up tests will be very limited. So please be here on your testing days if at all possible, so we can get that taken care of. And maybe we'll try to plan a special treat for those people who can manage to make it here for those sessions. So Ms. Shirley and I will talk more about that next week. Also, freshmen, your yearbooks, you can, if you pre-ordered a yearbook, you'll be able to pick that up during lunch today. And then starting tomorrow, you'll be able to purchase a yearbook during lunch. Please bring $60 cash or check if you are purchasing a yearbook. And again, that will start tomorrow during lunch. Ms. Shirley?
Yeah, we got a lot of good things going on. Mr. Stewart, I hope they have some swamp cabbage left over from that event.
I had
that
a little
sounds pretty good.
little piece before they took it.
I'm already hungry and it's only 6:30. Okay. So anyway, also students, just a reminder that, again, we do have our huge PBIS event coming up on May 20th. We're meeting as a PBIS team today. We're going to hammer out some more details. So I'm very excited to come back and share a little bit more with you guys about what we plan to do. But again, I hear Kona Ice is coming, and that is going to be great. My son has them come to his school and he says they are awesome. So I think this will be a great day.
All right, that's all I have for today. Make sure you're keeping up with your grades in Skyward. So go ahead and log on and be looking to see if you have any missing grades, because we want to stay on top of that this 9 weeks. All right, make it a great one as together we
Move forward.
And be great.
And B?
Brahmins.
All day.
all day.
Hello, welcome back to this month's wellness video. My name is Catherine Williams and I'm the Director of Mental Health and Behavioral Support. It's great to see you again. Last month we talked about bullying and how to help yourself or someone else if bullying is happening. This month we are going to talk again about human trafficking. We first discussed this in December. Let's review the ground rules that were established on the previous videos. Our first ground rule is that we should all listen with an open mind. Second, we will avoid personal stories. We will also be supportive of each other. We will not tease or make fun of each other or anyone or anything that is said in class. We will listen when someone is speaking, and only one person will speak at a time. Our last and most important ground rule is that whatever is said in this room stays in this room. This is a safe place to speak and ask questions. What is said in this room should not be gossiped about later in the hallways or on social media. However, it is important to know that if a student discloses potential harmful behavior to self or to others to an adult in the room, the adult is required by law to report this behavior. Today we are going to review the very serious crime of human trafficking. Human trafficking is a real problem that can happen to anyone and is happening in our state of Florida and possibly even in our own community. Human trafficking occurs when someone is recruited, hidden, or transported against their will for services and the financial gain of another person. This is sometimes referred to as modern-day slavery. We may wonder why people get caught up in bad things like human trafficking. We may ask, why don't people just stay away from bad people? Then they won't be trafficked. It is important to understand how a person can be easily misled and lied to. In fact, human trafficking sometimes starts off like a fairy tale, and the person can't believe his or her luck. The trafficker may tell the person that they know of a job where the person can make lots of money and help his or her family. Many times, the person's family is having a hard time. Maybe the person has a sick family member and wants to help somehow. This job solves the problem, and finally the person thinks it will all be okay. Sometimes the person gets to go on a plane to a brand new city or country. This seems exciting, but once he or she gets there, what seems like a dream quickly turns into a nightmare. We are going to watch a video produced by Catch the Wave of Hope This video will help to identify unsafe situations, the importance of helping someone in need, and how to access help.
Hi, I'm Fida Georges. I'm with Catch the Wave of Hope, a nonprofit organization fighting child sex trafficking. When I say the words human trafficking, what comes to mind? Children being sold in Thailand, or kids kidnapped and locked in cages? This is what most people picture, when in fact, they are not as common as you think. This is just how the media and Hollywood portray it. The truth about human trafficking is that many victims are lured with false promises of financial or emotional security, when instead they are forced or coerced into commercial sexual exploitation, domestic servitude, or other types of forced labor. According to U.S. law, anyone under the age of 18 who is persuaded to perform a commercial or sexual act is a victim of human trafficking, regardless of whether it's forced, fraud, or coercion. Nowadays, criminal organizations such as gangs are luring children from school into commercial sexual trafficking. The recruiters are often the same age as the children they are luring in. The average age of individuals being recruited is between 12 to 14 years old. This doesn't only happen in foreign countries or seedy alleyways. It could happen right next door.
How was your guys' tournament a few weekends ago?
It was okay. We won.
Yeah. Yo.
Took the dub.
Excuse me, girls. Do you know where the dock is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one like 2 miles down the road. Take a right?
Just up here to the right?
Yeah.
Thanks. One more thing. Would you like to go to a party later?
Our curfew's 8.
Well, my buddy's an influencer, and there's going to be a lot of people there and a bunch of alcohol, so maybe you guys can sneak out and give me a call?
You said there's gonna be booze there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is an example of a Romeo pimp or lover boy tactic. This is when somebody notices you for the first time, gets to know you, asks you about your hopes and dreams, as well as your doubts and fears. This stage could last weeks, months, and even years. They build a relationship that you trust and feel comfortable in, while secretly assessing your vulnerabilities and identifying any needs that are not being met. The child becomes comfortable with the individual and is under the assumption this is a genuine relationship that is loving and makes them feel accepted and cared about for the first time in their life. Then they focus on all the vulnerabilities you unveiled in the past. They buy you whatever you want, provide romance, well-being, and a sense of unconditional love. They often disguise themselves as boyfriends or girlfriends and are not considered strangers anymore. They make you feel secure, safe, and they boost your self-esteem. They help you get your hair done, nails done, or give you drugs and alcohol. It feels as though your life is the best it has ever been at this point, and you might even think it's too good to be true. Next begins the manipulation and coercion. They start to pull away that love and affection that they previously provided for you. Then they give it back and pull it away again. They make you question what you have done wrong and then use these situations to manipulate you to do things you are not comfortable with. Before you know it, you are so far down the rabbit hole, it feels like there is no escape. At this point, they will say you owe them for everything you received in the relationship. They explain that pornography and prostitution is a great way to make the money to pay back and go back to the wonderful life promised. Remember, this is all a calculated game for them. The only way we win this fight is to be prepared, be aware, and if you see something, say something.
I got what you need. Woke up in the store and get what you want. Go ahead. You get what you please. We about to get it on.
an example of how traffickers often use false job advertisements. Traffickers use offers of employment or travel to lure vulnerable people into sex trafficking. They tell you that they are a legitimate business and are recruiting young models, people who are interested in massage therapy, or a quick way to make cash, lots of cash. Once you arrive, everything important is taken from you, and the process of breaking in begins. During this stage, you are emotionally, psychologically, and physically abused through means such as rape, torture, threats, and degradation. These individuals witness extreme violence and even murders of other victims early on, so they quickly become compliant if they want to survive. So know what you can do. Moving forward, just keep these 5 steps in mind. Know the warning signs. Educate yourself and others. Talk to your peers and family if something is going on. Protect your personal information when online. And most importantly, build up your self-esteem and encourage those around you. Personal empowerment and true self-confidence are 2 things traffickers have no chance against.
Now that you have seen the video, let's review some of the facts that were presented. What were some of the risk factors that could place someone in harm's way of a human trafficker? Runaways, needing money or living in poverty, not attending school or dropping out of school, low self-esteem, social isolation, or the use of drugs and alcohol. If you notice any of these risk factors with anyone you know, please tell a trusted adult. How would you know that someone may be a victim of trafficking? Maybe that person appears fearful or anxious frequently. Maybe he or she appears to be overly nervous or tense. There could be lack of eye contact, and they may seem disconnected from family or friends. They may appear to be in poor health or show signs of abuse. Maybe they're frequently absent from school. Sometimes the person can have branding or tattoos that may indicate the identity of the trafficker. Sometimes one clue alone doesn't tell us much. You don't have to know for sure. If you think something is wrong, even if it isn't trafficking, it's good to tell your teacher. Telling your parent, trusted adult, or a teacher that you are worried about a friend or a classmate is brave. Trust your instincts and share. It could save someone's life. As you learned today, and from the previous wellness video, traffickers use many popular social media sites and popular digital devices, such as cell phones and video games, to contact potential victims. They groom potential victims. What is grooming? Grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a young person so they can manipulate and abuse them. Information that should not be shared online or through social media includes passwords, location, home and school addresses, school name, and phone number. Traffickers also search out popular hangout sites such as malls, restaurants, and movie theaters. Please remember these 3 nevers. Never accept friend requests from people you don't know. Never meet people you don't know alone and without telling a trusted adult. Never reveal too much information about yourself, such as your full name, address, or school. Always ask for help when you're unsure or uncomfortable. If you notice something, you can act. A is ask. Ask when you observe a red flag. C, care. Care by responding without judgment and support. And T, tell. Tell a trusted adult. Teachers, please pause the video now to allow discussion about today's topic and talking points. Here are some very important resources and hotlines for you to remember. Please always tell a trusted adult whenever you have concerns for yourself or others. Due to the length of our lesson today, we are not going to introduce a new relaxation activity. However, teachers, if there is time, please pause the video and review a previous activity that the students choose. We hope you learned from this lesson. Today's wellness video lesson and activities were developed by our licensed district mental health professionals with the help of the Lawrence Kids curriculum, the Homeland Security's Blue Campaign, and Catch the Wave of Hope. Remember, we want you to know that it's okay to speak with someone if you feel you need some help or support. Teachers are available and you can always see your school counselor. We hope you enjoyed today's lesson and we look forward to seeing you for our next wellness video.